Welcome, this is astrologer Albert Valentine from AbsolutelyPsychic.com. In this segment, we are going to be exploring Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's chart. Nicolas Maduro is a Sagittarius with Taurus rising and a Libra moon. When we look at the ascendant in the chart, we look at the personality. Taurus rising is about protection, shielding, and defense. At the same time, the ruler is in Scorpio. This has to do with all or nothing theories. It also has to do with war. Taurus rising with the ruler in Scorpio is all about control. It's a very thick wall, a very defensive wall that is hardly permeable. Just like nothing goes out, nothing comes in, especially for an individual who may have an all or nothing mind frame. With the conjunction to Neptune, this can make the individual idealistic, but more importantly, this Venus is retrograde, which makes it even more concrete. It is very difficult to permeate this person to change. This person is very set in his ways. Moving forward to the moon. This moon is in Libra, which is seeking harmony and peace. The challenge with this moon is that this moon is void. In astrology, we have what we call the void of course moon, which means actions and decisions made while the moon is void usually do not bring long-lasting results. Anything that was initiated on a void moon needs to be redone after the moon is void. So, for an individual, this is applicable in terms of the actions the individual makes in life. This individual may have to constantly go through a period of adjustments and readjustments after making a change. So nothing usually stays solid. This could be a very difficult moon because it's also in the 6th house, which can make a person work a lot, and yet the efforts they make either don't stick or they don't pan out the way they had hoped. This is also applicable when it comes to stelliums in the 6th house. Moving forward, the next set of important aspects in this chart are the quincunxes Uranus makes to both natal Saturn and the midheaven. A quincunx, again, has to do with readjustments. It has to do with doing things over. Unfortunately, Uranus can produce anxiety. A midheaven quincunx to Uranus is difficulty expanding with the future, a constant upset, a constant anxiety about a lack of expansion. So there is ongoing efforts, brutal force, if anything, to get things to work out. The Saturn quincunx to Uranus can mean having to deal with mind frames that are very unsimilar to one's own and have to readjust and adapt to the surroundings and continuously make ongoing efforts to get things to work out the way the individual had hoped. This can also be a downfall from grace, a downfall from career, not the easiest aspect. When we look at the opposition Jupiter makes to Uranus, it only expands it more. Now, in terms of progressing this chart, the progressed ascendant here in the blue line is at 6 of Cancer, which is forming a quincunx to natal Saturn. That quincunx has to do with having to make a change, having to make sacrifices, dealing with setbacks and dealing with cutbacks. It is coming to an exact peak in approximately 6 weeks. So by the end of July of 2016, it seems like Maduro will not be in office anymore. It is also indicated by the red arrow. There is a progressed quincunx between two progressed planets, and that has to do with progressed Mercury to progressed Uranus. There's going to be a lot of change taking place in terms of Maduro's career and Maduro's freedom. The previous quincunx, which was the ascendant to Saturn, the blue arrow, also has to do with a change of residence. So by the looks of this, it seems to me that Maduro will either be relocating out of Venezuela or possibly relocating into a prison cell, because the 9th house has to do with legal matters. With Maduro's progressed moon entering the 6th house, it seems more and more that towards the end of July, Maduro will not be working as president anymore. In fact, it seems that there are going to be changes in his work. That is very typical when the moon enters the 6th for an individual. Also, taking a look at another aspect in this chart, for the last year and a half, Maduro has had the progressed Venus at 8 Sagittarius in exact sextile to the natal midheaven. Typically, when Venus aspects an angle, it does bring safety, protection, and growth in the individual's life, and some popularity as well. This, too, will be exiting towards the end of July. So it seems pretty confirmed here that Maduro is going through some work changes, to put it mildly, and in terms of him remaining president, does not seem likely at all.
Thanks for watching. Click here to download our free apps for Android, iPhone, and Microsoft. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Stay tuned to our channel by hitting that red subscribe button. And remember, the first 3 minutes are free on our network with our trusted and accurate psychics. Be sure to surf our site for free horoscopes, articles, and so much more. Click here to go to our site or just call 1-800-498-8777 to get your first 3 minutes free right now.